that one I knew. That one I knew they were doing that. The other one I didn't know, like, because I wasn't getting hired regardless. But I knew that.
Well, how can you prove they didn't do that because of that? Can't they just say I didn't feel like you were somebody I would?
Because there's not a lot of CEOs with dreads. Nigga. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying like, how can you even prove that? Like, because isn't it basically saying you can't not hire somebody because they have dreads?
They just never say it, but they really chose.
It depends on the type of job you're doing as well. If it's a safety hazard, then there's a certain dress code and certain things. But how do I go to a job? Like, say they didn't hire me because I had cornrows. I can't really go and say, oh, they discriminated me because I had cornrows. They could just easily say, no, he just wasn't a perfect fit for us. You would never.
What's the point of the law in the first place?
Yeah, they never. That's what was interesting when I heard about it, when Lori's announced it. Because I was like, they never really told you that's why they didn't hire you. They always told you, we found somebody else anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. It's like, But I just thought about it. I was like, I forgot the crown act. And at least it's
I see. I'm reading it now. Also, it's talking about people at school were also getting in trouble for having dreads and stuff. Oh, okay, I guess dreads and stuff.
The white hands. The white hands are allowed in the store. The white hands are not allowed in the store.
This guy. What's Stargate, man? Yeah. What is that?
What?
Is that a new AI, Stargate?
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Yo, you should know what it is. It's AI, I think.
No, I don't know. I'm not it. I know Microsoft. I have a call with Microsoft.
You should know that Netflix's stock is going crazy right now.
Well, Netflix just raised its prices for its membership.
That's crazy that it's going up.
I mean, the only one I don't understand, I'm not really educated to do it. I'm not going to keep straight in this conversation. Because like I said, this is going to happen every 4 years. Every president has come with his executive-based agenda. It's a cycle. That's why I don't get too involved in it. It's actually, some of it is actually funny to me. But the one thing I was going to talk about that's kind of interesting, Marlon, we knew about this before Trump was even elected. The tariffs. Because when I was in China with Marlon, that was a big conversation in China. They were saying, y'all got to do this. Y'all got to make sure you buy this right now. Make sure you do this because once the tariffs come in, things are going to be expensive to ship to China. Now, I see his argument, I guess, because China sells meth and, all the drugs to Canada and Mexico. That's the reasoning. He says because he's trying to put more, because that's who's sending the drug and synthetic drugs, China and Canada. That's the same. Wait, I was gonna say, but I'm concerned. Like I said, I'm not educated on this, but just thinking of linear thinking. China supplies most of the world, and that's part of the argument. But then it's like we don't have those resources in America. To me, I don't have to be a businessman to know that we can't manufacture steel because we don't have our sand and our land is not made to manufacture steel. So it has to come from China. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that's going to make things less expensive because, of course, China is not going to let that go away. They're going to retaliate. I would think they would. They're not going to say, okay, America is charging us more. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a little confusing, and I'm just waiting to see how that works. If that goes through, the whole tariffs thing and stuff. Because, most of the electronics are coming from there. From the world. So if that makes things less expensive, I'm for it. But I'm trying to see how that works. Because Amazon is China. I don't know how they're going to control that price. Because Amazon is really China. So I don't know. I don't know where these things are going to come from. Maybe overnight, America is going to come and manufacture a plant. Bang, they're going to be manufacturing toys and bang plant.
What's the difference between tariffs and like VATs and import taxes and all that other stuff? It's not the same thing?
I think VAT is just a tax. I think VAT's just a regular tax.
Yeah, but tariffs is usually like those.
VAT is just like a European version of taxes.
So
how we pay for stuff.
So the tariffs is for countries and not people. That's what it is, right? I don't know much about tariffs.
Yeah, it's a tax. It's a tax.
So if you want to sell something to my country, you got to pay me to import it, pretty much. Or I got that backwards.
Yeah. If you're gonna send something to my country, you're gonna have to pay extra to get it in here. Basically,
yeah. So it's for goods. It's usually for goods.
Yeah.
Usually like metal, electronics, Yeah, so when you buy something from like somebody in China, you tell them, hey, on the bill of sale, just put it's a gift or a present or something.
Yeah, gift.
It's kind of to avoid that. So now, and usually like it's usually affects people who are buying, like companies that are buying tanks by sea, especially by sea, that are getting goods, tanks, metal, supplies and stuff. That's when you get a tariff. So it's really big on the the Amazons. That's who's really paying a lot of money on taxes. I mean on that tariff price. So my question was that I said I don't know, and Bang don't attack me. I didn't say it's gonna change. I said I'm interested to see how that's gonna work because as an economy, we buy a lot of stuff. So a lot of companies depend, whether we like it or not, we depend on China. So I want to see what changes it's gonna do with the price increase on tariffs. Like I want to see how that's gonna help the economy. I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand, but I just know that we are a buying and selling business. So that's a big, big one to us. Like, I just Temu, Shein, all those. I don't know how that's going to lessen the price. That's what I was just saying. Because I surely don't want to buy something that's made in Rockville. Because I know it's going to be expensive.
But that's the only way you're gonna actually reduce the cost of living and taxes within the country, though. Mm-hmm. That's another way to because you got to look at it. If the country has to find other ways to make money, and the more money we make outside of the U.S. is the less the cost of living should be in the U.S. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because we're buying from everywhere else,
right? And I think
we're not sufficient in any way. We're dependent on everybody else, and we're in debt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then one thing I can say I like about Trump is he's big on if we could do it in-house, let's do it in-house first versus running to China for everything, which is fair. Fair enough, because you allow
it's fair
Americans to become great, to be the next Tesla or whatever the name.
You know, never let that go. I have an argument with that. If we can do it in-house, I mean, come on, bro. Like, it's about resources.
It's inevitable, bro. Like, there's no way we're gonna do everything in house. We're gonna depend on China and these other places.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I got you.
But y'all got to look at. Do you know the amount of imports we get from Mexico when it comes to fruits and all of that?
I think he's just trying to balance out the power scale, bro. Like he's trying to balance out the power scale.
Yeah, that is too. Yeah, that is true.
Because if we're all depending on just China for everything, that's making them a powerful country, you know. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to balance it out and make it so that, it gives opportunity to other places, and it just lessens their power. It's just lessening our dependability on just one. It's almost like don't put all your eggs in one basket. Put all your eggs in one basket. know.
Yeah, but, he says he's going to do 25% on Mexico and Canada on February 1st.
And then maybe that will entice Mexico and these other countries to be supplying us with material that, because China's smart. They probably getting that shit from Mexico anyways, and then they send it to us.
But then it helps American farmers too, bro, because there's a lot of small business farmers to where they can make more money. But the Walmarts and all that might be importing something from Mexico. And not only you import shit from Mexico, you're bringing in all kind of pests and all of that as well, too. It's bad for the economy.
And the quality's also bad. I mean...
Then, yep.
We just taking... because it's almost like we're just getting what we get because there's only one supplier. So we don't even know there's a better quality out there. I mean, look at half of the products we're getting, honestly, bro, on Amazon. They're not that good. It's just that that China's the only manufacturer we get from. The only thing that are quality is probably like.
Bro, when I used to live in Kentucky, bro, you know what's crazy? Oh, the country, like the real country redneck dude, they rarely go to Walmart. They go to local farmers for eggs, fruit, certain things like that, and it's way better than what Walmart or any of the local grocery stores selling.
Mm-hmm. And I was saying we were talking about that. It's funny because Amazon, some at some point you just saw the change in quality on stuff that you buy in Amazon. It was like I don't know when, but like you just saw a shift where everything just got Chinese. It used to be nice, good handmade, good American made products. Now we're getting
Yeah, and they're so like we're so dependent on them that they don't even care no more because we're gonna buy from them anyway. So they're not taking their time with it because it don't matter what it is. They make it, we buy it. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't come with instruction manuals. I had to build something the other day with no manual.
And I think that also goes back to like when you have money and power. America, we got so complacent and lazy that we just send money to China. Hey, build us this. Hey, do this for us. Do this for us. You know, but we got so complacent. Mm. We're not really trying to get the best quality. We're just using money as our tool, and that's why they're not giving us quality. You know, when you don't have money, you got to really get it out the mud, you know? But America, we got so much money. We just send money to anywhere and everywhere and tell them do this for us.
Yeah,